This is Franklin Park. This looks like a really nice park here in North Spokane, and this isn't where we're going today. This is where we're starting off. And on the other side, we can see some stuff that's maybe not so nice. Most of my time in Spokane so far has been in natural areas in South Hill or in outlying towns. And most of Spokane is actually north of the river, North Spokane. I've actually haven't been there very much until today. I took a bus down Division Street, that's this street here. And as you can see, this is kind of a very strody area. And we have a lot of strip mall businesses, but over there we have a real shopping mall, and that's where we're going today. That is the Northtown Mall in the Nevada Hills neighborhood. If you look at the area around here, I wouldn't call this an urban mall, but I also wouldn't call this a totally suburban mall, because look at how small the parking lots are compared to some places where the parking lots go on for acres and acres. And there actually is a parking structure here, I believe. So this is a suburban mall in a way, but it has some signs of being more urban. And it'll be interesting to see what that looks like when I get in there. It's also close enough to residential neighborhoods that there's neighborhood foot traffic, at least a little. You can see ahead. There's the parking garage I mentioned. Regal, I don't know if that's still in business, and Marshall's. It'll be interesting to see if there's any anchors still here. We have Marshall's, which is kind of like a midi anchor, but I'll see what's inside. Although, as usual, I don't know how much I'll capture once I'm actually in. So, alcohol, drug, and weapon-free zone. Camera is none of those things. So let's see what happens when we go in. So it already does feel like a little bit quiet, but far from deserted. Okay, along here, this does look closer to not a dead mall, but a mall that's maybe, when you get, I don't know what the vacancy rate is that a mall stops being sustainable, but, looks pretty quiet, and there are some dead storefronts. I don't know, maybe that was hasty. It looks like we do have some stuff here, like there's no dead storefronts along here. I'm climbing a staircase here. Gives us a good vantage point. Also, I should point out this is Wednesday afternoon, so maybe it's more busy weekends and nights. Might have a food court up here. Might even have a food court with something I want. So nice, basic food court. A few chain restaurants, didn't see if there's anything non-chain. A lot of space to sit down. And there's some people here, not a lot, but then again, it is Wednesday afternoon. So two things to notice here. One is that we do have an anchor. We have a JCPenney's. The other is that this is a two-story mall, which again, not super urban, but not like just a big sprawling suburban mall. And we can see that in it having 2 stories and it not having a parking lot. Along with making the video, this is why I came here. I saw there was a comic book shop here and I wanted to check it out. Looks like it's a comic book shop / geek emporium. Let's see what they have in there, or I will. Probably won't be in the video. So the comic book store at least is busy, and I asked in there because it was mostly like RPG and CCG stuff, and he said he had other stores that are more comic book centric, and it was like mostly like comic books, but not knocking your business model. And he said that because this is a mall, it has a different clientele. Anyway, I think I'm going to take back what I said earlier. I think maybe it's just in a couple of places where it really is, sparse. So yeah, it's actually a fairly busy mall. Holes there, so another meaty anchor. And Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, yeah, this seems actually about average for a mall in the United States right now. Main thing is there's not a lot of kiosks in the center, and there's not a lot of foot traffic right now. This is an interesting business. They actually have an aquarium here, and it says it's $16 in, and you can see stingrays and stuff. So that is something interesting I wasn't expecting to see in a mall. Again, shows this mall is pretty active, and it might be shifting its business model to, I guess you'd say, services or entertainment from retail, but still a lot of retail. So I don't really know how to classify this mall, and I'm an expert by now. So the cinema is indeed still there. So I think my first judgment when I walked in was pretty incorrect, because other than a few stores near that one entrance, it's, about 90% occupied and a lot of foot traffic, and the anchors seem to be still here. So I'd say this is a pretty active mall. I mean, it's not super fancy, it's active. Ooh, booksellers. I already have enough books and not enough money. The mall also has these little tableaux scattered around, and I almost feel like somebody's going to have an international business meeting of great import here, but they're all blank. Speaking of being blank, right here, this looks like this is a pretty large storefront, and it is empty. Don't know if that's a main anchor or a medi anchor, but in other case it is empty. So my first judgment was not totally false, because there are areas of this mall that are not occupied, but there are areas that are highly occupied. And now I'm going to leave the mall, conclude some thoughts. So I guess I would say that mall is about in the middle. Not gigantic, not tiny, not urban, not suburban, not thriving, but not failing. So it took me a while walking around there, but I'd say actually that mall is out in the center of what I'd expect a mall to be in the United States in 2025. And there might be more to it, but that's what I can see so far. So I hope that was helpful, and I have to figure out what to do for about the next 2 hours.